Hey felines, and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're venturing onto my channel for the first time today. Hi! It has been a few weeks since I have filmed, since I have played with makeup. I've got some new makeup in front of me that I want to try. Some of it I haven't used or haven't used in a while, but I'm obviously in my new filming, beauty, makeup room, etc. at the new apartment. So if you guys haven't seen my vlog that I posted earlier, make sure you guys go check it out. It has a little bit on the inside of the whole move and everything, and all the stuff that I had, and now everything is pretty much organized. I am really, really loving it. Got this cute little backdrop, and again, everything that I have that can be linked was linked in that video before. So today's video is just going to be a catch up, get ready with me. I'm going to play with some makeup. I'm going to update you guys on everything that's been going on in my life and my little family's life, because it has been a crazy transition into 2021. We are only like 7 or 8 days in right now, and I want a refund. So if you guys are interested on what's been going on in my life and want to see some makeup, then definitely keep on watching. Alright, so to start off with, I'm going to go with the Porefessional Pore Primer by Benefit. So yeah guys, we moved. We are officially in the new apartment. It is a much better apartment. It has 3 bedrooms, and it's got like, it's kind of like a half of a house, so it's got 2 floors. Much bigger than our old place. Our old place was just a normal 1-bedroom apartment, nothing too fancy. And our rent was going up again. It goes up every year. So we are only paying $20 more per month for this 3-bedroom than we would be in our 1-bedroom. So the family that was living here before was actually a sister, one of my good high school friends, and they wanted this to go to a good family, someone that they knew, because it is honestly like such a steal. We're a little bit out of the town of Batavia now, so it's like not downtown. There's a lot less light. It gets a lot more like, feels a lot more dark outside. There's still a lot of stuff we need to get for the apartment, but I'm so excited. Alright, just gonna go in with a staple drugstore, the Infallible L'Oreal Freshwear foundation. So like I said, I did show you guys a little bit of the apartment in that vlog that I posted, but there's obviously a lot to be done from that video. So when we finally like have a good point where we have unpacked and everything has been decorated and it looks a little bit more organized and not as chaotic, I might give you guys a more updated apartment tour if you guys are interested. If not, then you know, whatever, I don't really care. But moving, it sucked, but we were very thankful to have my whole family plus my fiance's dad help move us. We rented a giant U-Haul because we want to make sure we got everything out. It's kind of amazing to see like how much we actually accumulated just in our little 1-bedroom apartment. We did not think we had that much stuff. It's kind of bad. We are both like, we're not hoarders, but we both like stuff, and we just like accumulating a bunch of stuff. So like I said, we wanted to make sure that we rented a U-Haul because our new apartment was only like a couple minutes away from our old apartment. It's just down the road. So like, why not just rent a giant U-Haul and just move it all in one go? And pretty much that's what we had to do. We had to end up moving all of our stuff in one day. And I'll get into that in a second. So I'm pretty sure I don't like this primer. I don't think very like silicone-y type primers work well with my skin, so it just makes my foundation look a little weird, but we will move on. I'm trying a bunch of stuff, so if today's makeup like it's a flop, it's a flop. I'm gonna go in again and try the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I just don't have patience for these because you gotta sit here and you gotta twist it and twist it and twist it, and like nothing ever comes up. So yeah, we end up having to move all of our stuff in one day. So when we initially found this place, the people that were living here before were moving out in October. Yeah, in October. And our current lease wasn't up until December. So we're like, hey, we're very interested in this place, but our lease doesn't end until December. Like, you know, we let him know up front what was going on. So he was like, well, I'm gonna be out of rent for 2 whole months. And I was like, okay, but like, are you gonna be doing stuff like home improvement type stuff before like each, you know, tenant. That's usually what people do. But again, gotta realize like this isn't his full-time job. He just kind of does this on the side. He works in like the malt business, not like making beer alcohol, just the malt for it. So it's not really like his first business. You know, it's just something he does on the other side. As long as he gets paid, you know, he doesn't really care. He's very nonchalant about everything, which can work in your favor and again, not in your favor if you want stuff actually done. We eventually came to terms on how long our lease was going to be and everything so that we could actually get the apartment and not have to worry about doing like dual payments for both apartments. So that was cool that he was willing to work with us about that. He was cool about having cats because the previous family also had a cat, so no stupid pet rental fees like that. That was really nice. So, you know, I like told him several times, I was like, hey, like, can we start moving in, say, like, the 30th of December? That way we had plenty of time to move out of our old apartment so we could clean it, because our old apartment gave us this long list of stuff that had to be cleaned before we moved out, even though, like, it didn't look that clean when we moved in. When we left our old apartment, it was way cleaner than we moved in. So, like, we should definitely be getting our security deposit back. If we don't, there will be hell to pay. I will be so upset. Okay, now that I think I've got this concealer to work, I'm honestly, like, really loving it. So initially, I told him the 30th. I said this several times, moving out, moving out, moving out, moving out. And he's really, really bad at texting back or emailing or anything because, you know, he's busy working all day doing his malt business, which I understand. But again, you have people that are trying to move in. It's not really giving you a good first impression. And we were kind of getting really worried about this whole thing. And we were just kind of a little sketched out. By this point, we had already signed everything and it was done for. So eventually he messages back and he's like, well, the walls just got painted and the guy isn't coming in until the 29th to do the carpets. So the carpets might be wet on the 30th. And I was like, so you don't want us moving in on the 30th now? Like, what's going on? He's like, well, you can, but your socks might get a little wet. And I was like, you've had 2 months to do all this stuff. Why are you doing it like 2 days before we move in? Especially if we're moving stuff in, it's the middle of winter. I mean, there would normally be snow, but apparently winter decided to leave New York this year. But if not like snow, there'd be mud because it's just wet and gross outside. So why you clean the carpet the day before we move in? Because it's just going to be messy anyways. Like, if you wanted to clean the carpet, you should have done it like a month ago. All right, now I'm going to set everything with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Setting Powder in Butter. I just got this one. I wanted to get the mini. I don't want to like go full out with the big one yet, just to see if it works. And if I finish this one up, then I can get to the full size one. Oh, it's so cute. It's got a little like powder puff thingy in here. That's adorable. I might use that. Oh, it has a little bit of a fragrance, but not bad. Makeup is sitting really weird on my nose right now, but that just might be because my nose is like super dry. This little powder puff thing actually works really well for like setting underneath my eyes. Although this concealer is definitely like creasing a lot, but I mean, I don't really care because like there's always going to be creases underneath the eyes. Like you're never actually going to get rid of them, so whatever. It's a very like brightening powder, so hopefully it will like kind of absorb in. So yeah, so now we're like, okay, well, one, I mean, if you were doing the carpets on the 29th, it should be dry by the 30th, unless for some reason you're like not doing them until like 11 p.m. on the 29th. So I'm like, well, let's come by and get the keys at least on the 30th and we can see how bad the carpets are and we'll go from there. Like maybe we'll just move odds and ends and like stuff I don't really want in the truck, you know, like pillows, my plants, stuff like that. So we're like, let's just do that. And we got the U-Haul rented for the 31st. So come the 30th, we show up and he's like nowhere to be found. And I'm like, what the heck? You said the 30th at noon. So we had to like go find him back in his malt house. And he's like back there working. We're like, yeah, can we have the keys? No, it's like all like really sketchy. Like he's like so nonchalant, like I said. Ooh, I really like this powder. So eventually we find him and we get the keys and we're so confused on the keys he gave us. Originally, so he was going to give us 2 back door keys and a front door key. We're only really going to be going into the back door, but we would like, nah.
That's what she said.
But we would like a key for the front door just in case, you know, something were to happen. And the 2 keys he gave us for the back door were like really weird and not like they unlocked different things because there's like the regular lock and then there's like the deadbolt lock. So I don't know what's going on with that. We need to just maybe make our own keys. Like we realized like if we want anything to get done, we just have to do it ourselves. All right, now I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna bronze with a Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer. Yeah, I got it in the shade Tantric. There's 3 shades and one of them was out. So hopefully this isn't too dark for me, but this was on sale. So it was kind of like another Merry Christmas to me little gift. So we show up and we get the keys, and he told us that the guy wasn't able to get in until that day to do the carpets. So on the 30th. So the carpets are soaked. We do a quick little walkthrough of the apartment and our socks were soaked instantly. And like, are you effing kidding me? So there was no way we were gonna be like moving stuff in. So, and the apartment like wasn't really cleaned anyway. So we had to go through and we had to clean, we had to vacuum. We had to like, there were so many cobwebs. We cleaned the bathroom, we cleaned all the cabinets out in the kitchen. Like it was just a total mess. And I don't know if it's just because it was sitting vacant for a few months, but I don't know. So we're like, yeah, we're definitely not moving in anything like serious today. So then my sister eventually came by after work and we went and like got stuff that we needed at Walmart and Home Depot. And later that night ended up like drying, like it dried pretty fast. So if he had done it on the 29th, it would have been fine to move stuff in on the 30th, but the guy wasn't able to clean the carpets until the 30th. So now we are definitely like have to move everything out on the 31st. So come the 31st, you know, we still had stuff to pack up. We still like had everything going on. Luckily, like beside my fiance's dad and my whole family was able to move stuff out. So we were so appreciative of all of their help because if it wasn't for them, there was no way that was all getting done in one day. So we ended up moving all of our stuff in, no hitches there. Everyone was super helpful. And by the end of the day, we're like, all right, cool. Now we can start cleaning the old apartment and start working through that whole checklist that they had. Ooh, this like blends like so softly. I am loving this. Might turn out to be a good makeup day anyways. So again, shout out to my mom for really helping to clean. We like knocked off that whole list and she let us borrow her steam cleaner because they wanted us to clean the carpets ourselves and we needed to have proof that we like got a steam cleaner and we did it. So everything's cleaned out. We are about to get all the last stuff done at the old apartment and then we get a phone call. Alright, so I'm just going to use the Kevyn Aucoin face palette to just contour my nose a little bit. So we end up getting a phone call and it's from my fiance's mom. And I was like, oh, what's up? She goes, oh, I hope moving out is going well and not to put a hitch into your plans and everything that's going on, but your fiance, my fiance Jim, ended up getting positive for COVID. So now we are so close to wrapping up, getting out of the old apartment, and now we've got to deal with all of this. How he's positive, I have no idea. We don't go anywhere. The last time we like hung out with our little small friend bubble was Halloween. He's been remote from work since like before Thanksgiving. He doesn't go anywhere. Like I don't go anywhere except for like the store and like stuff like that. Like we've hung out with our family for the holidays, but we've been hanging out with them like this whole time through like the quarantine. So it's not like anything like that. So he was feeling sick, like congestion, kind of like a sinus infection, nothing serious, no real fever. I think the highest, it was like a 99, maybe it got up to 100, but I don't think it did. And he just had like a lot of congestion and like kind of like sinus pressure. And it didn't go away for like a week. So we ended up going to urgent care just to see if like there was any other kind of medication that he could get to help combat this like sinus infection, or so he thought. And of course, with everything going on, they always just give everyone a COVID test to make sure. And it came back like 4 days later or something. I also don't know why they called his mom. Like, I think he might have put down like that as like a secondary thing, but they called his mom instead of him, letting him know that he was positive, and his phone was charging, so his mom ended up calling me. And he's been cautious because he knows he wasn't feeling well, but now we're like, oh crap, everyone that helped us out today is now a contact. So like my entire family and his dad were all contacts, and like we felt horrible because, you know, his dad and his parents are older. my dad and my brother, like, they're not more susceptible to getting it, but if they do get it, it might be harder for them to fight it off. So we were like freaking out. Obviously now I need a quarantine and I can't go to work. So I immediately called work and was like, hey, I got a quarantine, gotta go get tested and all that. All right, for blush, I'm gonna go with OPV Beauty, this little palette to right here. I kind of like this deeper color. I'm gonna go with that one very, very lightly. So yeah, we felt really bad because now we just made everyone a contact and all of that. So now he had to immediately call the contact tracing people, give him the list of all of the contacts and go through all of that. And so what finds out is that they go 10 days from the first day of symptoms, and he found out his test results on the 31st, but technically his isolation was up on the 30th. So the 31st would have been like the first day he was free from isolation. Go figure, right? Because they just go by the day of symptoms, and he said it was around the 20th when he first started having symptoms. Or so like everyone that helped move us out weren't really contacts. Like they ended up making my sister contact, even like she would have been fine. But my family and everyone and his parents would still be contacts from Christmas and Christmas Eve when we went over for dinner. So they were still contacts, but their quarantine wouldn't have been as long. So he gives them all of that information, and obviously like they will call me and everything, and I called work and let them know that I couldn't go into work because I was supposed to work on the 1st. So I've been in quarantine. The 9th was my last day. By the time you see this, I will be free from quarantine and back to work. So I have been in quarantine for that whole time. It's been amazing. I just... like by Monday, I was like, I'm ready to go back to work. I'm done with this. But at least it gave us time to actually like unpack everything. I watched all of the Star Wars movies in chronological order. And I feel bad because I had to keep sending my fiance to go to the store for stuff because I obviously couldn't go. So I felt bad for that. So I've had this MAC brow pencil in the shade Lingering, I think, in my collection forever, and I'm not sure if I like it or not, if I remember using it, so we're gonna just attempt to use it and see how it goes. I need my brows, my hair done again. Thankfully I have an appointment on the 29th. So obviously I was freaking out because I had to go get tested, and I was trying to like find somewhere to get tested like as soon as possible, but with like the new year, like it was crazy. People were like at capacity for testing for the day by like 8 in the morning. And it was kind of ridiculous, but I finally did get a test. I got a test on Saturday, came back on Tuesday, I think, and somehow, some way I was negative. I don't know how, because I figured if, like, you know, trying to figure out where my fiance got it from, I was like, maybe I gave it to him, because I've been going to work still. I mean, no one was really at work, but I don't really know. So somehow I was negative. I must have like the antibodies or something like that. So at least I didn't have it. I've been having like some congestion and a sinus infection type symptoms, but a lot more mild than what my fiance was dealing with. But I sure as heck thought I was going to be positive. So at least there was that good news. In other health news, I may have like told you guys before that I've been having like numbness and tinglingness in my arm and some shoulder pain, and I've been getting that checked out and everything. And I've got x-rays and nothing, came back on those. And then I got an MRI and nothing came back on that either. The only thing was mild distal clavicle marrow edema, which is just kind of like some fluid buildup or something like that. And usually it's indicative of a tear or a fracture or something, but they didn't see any fractures, no tears, no nothing. So good that I don't have any tears, and like I probably don't need surgery, but at the same time I kind of wish I had a tear just so I could get surgery and be done with it, because I still have like shoulder pain. And I've had it for a while and I don't really know what it is. So other than just like PT and rest, like it's not really going to be an easy fix. So yeah, I'm going to do the other brow off camera and be right back. All right, I'm back and both brows are done, and just gonna have to deal with it again until I get my brows done. And I carved out this brow and kind of primed it, but I used this Luscious Angel Eyes primer base that I've had for a while. Definitely not my shade, so that's gonna go into my declutter drawer, which I will be filming at some point. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to do something like really basic today. So I'm going to go in with the Doucce Ultra Precision Eyeliner. It's a kohl eyeliner, and I'm going to kind of just make a wing, smoke it out a bit, and then go in with a single from Dose of Colors, just like something really simple. Hopefully it'll work out. We'll see. So yeah, I guess that would be good news on my shoulder. I'm not really sure, but I've also had some teeth issues. So I've had a filling back here, and then it came out, and then I got it refilled, and now I'm having like super high sensitivity. So I'm not sure if I need a root canal or a crown. So eventually we'll be calling the dentist to get that checked out, because it is not fun. Like, I can't drink anything cold or eat anything super hot, and it's just not a good time. Not a good time at all. All right, I am not going to be able to do this while talking, so fast forward. All right, so I'm going to try first just to do that line, because I watched James Charles' video, and he said it actually looked better if you just did the line and then smoked it out, but we'll see, because I kind of want more black. I'm just going with a black eyeshadow too, so I'm using a little like pencil brush, like he said. This is the Sigma E30 pencil brush. We're going to just kind of like see if this will buff out. So that is all the stuff I have been dealing with. Oh, and by the way, when we were cleaning the apartment, let's go back to that. You know how I said my parents, they let me use their steam cleaner, but it wasn't working. It was depositing like the cleaning solution, but it wasn't sucking it back up. My mom was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I didn't use it last. So it was probably one of my brothers or my dad or someone who like messed it up. So then we had to go back out to Walmart or Home Depot to rent one. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad. Initially, it was 50 bucks because we were going to rent it for 4 hours. We're going to end up using it for 2. So, it ended up being 25 bucks. So, not a big deal. But when you're dealing with everything else, you just found out your fiance is COVID positive. All right. Then, on top of that, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this, make a little bit more of a wing. On top of all of that, with being stranded home and not having much to do, already unpacked everything, organized everything, I'm going to do some online shopping because I can't go to the store. So, you know, Amazon's my best friend, but my debit card expired in January. So December was the last month I could use it. And I was like, did they not automatically send out a card? Like, I thought they were going to send out a new card. So on Saturday, I tried to order a new one, but it automatically canceled my card, thinking that I had reported it as lost or stolen. And since it's the weekend, I can't call a real person and be like, it was a mistake. So I couldn't message anyone to say it was a mistake. I mean, I still have my credit card, but some accounts are still linked through my debit card, like Venmo. If I need to Venmo anyone, it's through my debit card, which I thought it was just my checking account, but I guess it's my debit card. James Charles makes everything look easy, I swear. So eventually on, let's see, Monday, I was like, all right, gotta call someone, gotta get this card situation figured out. And I kept going through, you know, it's a robot, and they give you all of the options of everything that's going on. And of course, I get through all the options, and they tell me that their call volume is too high and automatically hangs up on me. So after going through all of that, I still can't talk to a real person. Like, again, another nail in the coffin, and I'm gonna go crazy. I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest. So then, of course, my mom messages me later and was like, oh, guess what just showed up in the mail? Your new debit card. I was like, oh, freaking course it did. So I go ahead and I try to activate it, but it says, oh, in order to activate it, you need to call like this number instead and talk to like a real person. So I eventually get through, and I talk to a real person. And I explained the whole situation, and she goes, well, since you reported it lost or stolen, I was like, I didn't though, and that was a mistake. Oh, well, now we have to send you a new card with a new card number and all of that. And like, she was not very helpful, like not helpful in the slightest. And so now I have a new card being sent to me with a new number, 5 to 7 business days. So now I'm even longer without a debit card. Yay. So I'm gonna like try to figure out this eye and come back. Okay, I think I got it to a spot that I like, at least as good as it's gonna get. I ended up using the kohl eyeliner, the black eyeshadow, and the Dose of Colors in Night Sky single in the packaging that is impossible to open. See, it is beautiful. Love it. So yeah, we're doing very smoky, sultry, sexy today. I'm gonna go in with the Lilly Lashes Triple X Mascara, because I haven't used this one in a while. Then we're going to go in with the style Intoxicating from Flutter Lashes. Just a standard kind of winged out, kind of like a Miami flare from Lilly lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that and finish my other eye and come back for the last few updates. I am living for this very fierce, smoky, sparkly eye. So we only have a few more things to highlight in lips and only a few more updates to finally give you guys. I guess a couple of good updates, I guess, as far as wedding planning goes. I've officially announced to the Facebook world and Instagram that we have decided on a venue and a date. So we ended up looking at a few venues. I'm going to go in with the Morphe Liquid Lip in Vanity. We ended up looking at a few venues. One of them was a barn. I'm not really like very particular on my wedding. I do have a couple of things I'm like, yes, I need this or I want this, but otherwise I'm kind of flexible. So I was thinking originally I wanted like a rustic barn vibe. So we looked at a barn. We also looked at Blue Barn Cidery. That one was like way, like it was a little over our price range and it seemed too business-like. I don't know, I didn't like the vibe when we like toured that place. So then we looked at the Maison Albion, and originally I saw this one, but I was scrolling through endlessly trying to find venues that were in our price range that I liked. Because I definitely know I didn't want like a country club or like at a golf club or anything like that. I was like, not my vibe. All right, while that's drying down, I'm going to go in with the Revolution makeup eyeshadow or highlighter palette of some sort. I don't really know what it is. I found this one and I was kind of like, I'm not exactly sure if I want this vibe or not. And the pictures that were online weren't really what it looked like in person because they had just bought it like in the spring and I've been doing renovations ever since. So it's kind of like a mock-up of what they want it to look like, and it wasn't exactly where it was right now. But I showed pictures to my fiance and he was like, yes, because it's that old vintage French theme, which originally wasn't thinking that was something that I wanted, but when I saw the venue, I was like, yes, I need it. So we ended up touring there, and my fiance seemed a little sketchy about it because they still had a lot of progress to be done, but they've already done a lot. So I really am hopeful that they're gonna like pull it out by the time that we get married, and I'm very excited to get married there. Like, I fell in love and I'm so happy that we finally signed on. So we are officially getting married in 2023 on October 7th, which seems like forever away, but it gives us time to save up. It gives time for COVID to disappear, and hopefully things will like go back to normal so I can have a normal wedding. And it'll give them time to finish all of the renovations and improvements that they want to get done there. All right, now I'm going to go in with the Luxe Gloss from the Raw Beauty Colourpop collection in the shade Glacier. Yeah. So I am super, super excited. Now we just need to finalize our guest list to figure out how many people we're going to be inviting, and that way we can reserve the caterer for that day as well. If we can keep at our guest invite at 200, but maybe only have like between 150 and 180 show up, like that would be perfect. Oh, that is such like a cute gloss topper. Loving it. Just gonna seal this all in with the Morphe Setting Continuous Spray. I love this setting spray, it's so refreshing. Alright guys, that is this finished look. I think those are all the updates. Like I said, it's been a crazy few weeks. We've had some highs, we've had some lows, but hopefully now, by the time this video goes up, everything will be back to normal. I will be going back to work, which is gonna suck getting up at like 5 in the morning again, but yeah. We still have a bunch of stuff to get done in the apartment, so when it's more finished, I might show you guys a quick run through of an apartment tour. Other than that, that is everything for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you are notified every time I post a new video. I love you guys, and if you subscribe to my channel, I welcome you in a feline family. Bye! Wow, I'm actually surprised I remembered my outro since it's been so long.